Hi, and welcome to another episode of WTF is George Cooking. Today's episode is going to be a little appetizer here at the house. We are making up some deep fried dill pickles. And actually, we are also going to be doing a couple of onion rings as well, just as a test. I tried making some onion rings the other night with a different batter, and breadcrumbs. It didn't work out too well, so we thought, we were going to give up on those, but then, hey, we found this dill pickle recipe. We said, well, let's try the onion rings in it as well. So for today's recipe, again, this one's coming from Chop Secrets. Chop Secrets. Never heard of this before. All I know is the girlfriend sends me these, and I have to make them. If you guys have any suggestions for something for me to make, please post them in the comments below. I'll take a look and see if it's something that I'm interested in. So, for our deep fried pickles today, we are going to need pickles. They say sandwich sliced dill pickles. I just grabbed some mixed dill pickles. We quartered them earlier. We have 1 to 2 cups of, they give some sort of brand name of Italian breadcrumbs. We just have seasoned breadcrumbs. That'll be fine. Oil for frying. I got a deep fryer going there. First thing you want to do with any deep frying project is turn on the deep fryer. It takes a while for the oil to heat up, so get that warming before you start anything else. Preheating just takes so long. We're going to need 1 cup of flour, 1 cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 egg, and then I have paprika and black pepper as well. So let's get going. First, it does say preheat your oil to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. I got that going in the deep fryer right now. It's not ready yet. You might hear a beep throughout the video, and that's when we know it's good to go. Combine all of our batter ingredients and stir until smooth. Let's sit for 5 minutes. All right. Grab our whisk because we're going to need that. So I have my milk here. Let's add some flour. So it was 1 teaspoon of the baking powder. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I didn't really feel like I was an adult till I had to go out and buy one of these containers. I don't know how long they last, but my mother always had one of these in the baking cupboard. And so when I finally went out and bought one, I was just like, oh, I guess I'm an adult now. All right, so I've got the baking powder. Get that out of the way. To do 1 teaspoon of paprika. And then 1/2 teaspoon of the black pepper. Oh, I just put in 1/4. I'm using the wrong measuring spoon. Okay, 1/4, 2/4. 3/4, 4/4 of the teaspoon. All right. I even used the wrong one for the baking powder. Whoops. Let's get to the right measuring spoon right now. Okay, now I'm going to need 1/2 for the black pepper, 1/2 in the black pepper, and add our egg. We're just going to take our whisk here and mix it all together. So it says stir until it is nice and smooth, and then we're going to have to let it sit for 5 minutes. this is nice and smooth now. I'm just going to set this aside and let it sit for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, I'm just going to get some of the rest of the stuff ready here. We have our dill pickles. And next step says dab the dill pickle slices on paper towels just to dry them off. Okay, so we've got our dill pickles already there. I'll see you guys in a couple of minutes just after our batter's had some time to rest. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes now, so we've let our batter set here. Still looking nice and smooth, so it should be good. Next step is, it says place about half a cup of breadcrumbs into a bowl. We went ahead and did this. Now the recipe does call for 1 to 2 cups of breadcrumbs. You're only putting half a cup in because you don't want the breadcrumbs to get too wet. If they get wet, they all start clumping together and they won't stick to your pickles or hopefully our onions as well. So that's why first we dab the pickles just to dry them off, and then we're only using half a cup at a time. If this gets too clumpy, just throw it out, start with another fresh batch. We're going to have a little bit of a assembly line going on. We're going to go start with our pickles. We'll grab a pickle, we're going to put it into our batter. We're then going to take it out of the batter, put it into our breadcrumbs, toss it around the breadcrumbs, and put it onto another plate. I'm going to use 2 different sets of tongs, one for putting the pickles into the batter and then into the breadcrumbs, and then a second pair to take from the breadcrumbs and put them onto the plate. Again, when I was making my onion rings the other night and it did not work out, I had a problem where my fingers were getting too damp and clumping to the breadcrumbs. They're missing spots on the onions themselves wherever I was touching them, and so we're going to try with 2 different sets, and then hopefully that will work out for us. So, I've got my 2 sets ready to go here. Start off, take a pickle, throw it in. Very different texture than what I was using the other night. Let's see how this goes. I just try to shake off some of the extra there. Throw it into there. Toss it around, and voila. Sort of a rinse and repeat. Oh, I can probably just go ahead and throw a couple in there, get them soaking. Hopefully I just find them all. Alright, so I'm just going to do this, and we'll see you soon. Okay, so I have my lovely assistant Jessica just helping me out there, try to make the process go a little bit faster. Halfway through there, as you probably saw, we stopped using the second pair of tongs. I find that I had batter sticking to the tong itself, and so it was scraping it off of the pickles as I was lifting. So I just switched over to some fingers there, and the results did seem a little bit better. So we got our pickles there sitting. While we were waiting for the batter to actually sit, the deep fryer did beep, so it is at temperature now, which is great. But we're going to let these guys sit for just a moment. While those are sitting, we're just going to do up some onion rings as well. Now, the onion rings, very simply, you just take an onion, slice it into nice big chunks, about between a quarter and a half inch thick. And we're just going to try to follow the same process that we just did and see what happens. Now you can throw them in the freezer just to firm up the onion a little bit beforehand. These are holding the batter a lot better than the pickles did. I don't know if it's just more surface area or whatnot, but see. We're just going to do up a few of the tests just to see how they work. I found that sort of trying to do the pot flip. It was a little bit difficult. So we're just going to to try to get the breadcrumbs moving around, get them covering up the onions and whatnot, or the pickles there. That worked out really well. So do a few here. One. Alright, so the onion rings unfortunately started off looking pretty good and just got progressively worse. So I might just need to buy frozen onion rings and make those work for me. Nothing wrong if you have to do that. Not everything has to be homemade. Alright, so next step is we are going to be using the deep fryer. Now we're going to deep fry these in small batches. Just a couple pickles at a time. We don't want too much going on in there. We're going to just deep fry them about 3 to 4 minutes, I believe it is, until they start looking golden brown and just about right. Alright, so 3 minutes in and they are looking pretty nice and golden and fried. So I think that's just about right. I'm going to give them a little bit of a shake there. I have a bowl just lined with some paper towel here just to dab sort of the extra grease off of them and the extra oil off of them. And yeah, no, these look absolutely delicious. Beautiful, nice, crispy, dark. So, household favorite here, we just have a smoky chipotle sauce. We love this for dipping, onion rings, a whole bunch of different things, pogos as well, french fries. So, let's give this a shot and see how it is. Pretty good. So, I'm going to make up the rest of these. In the meantime, though, you guys have yourself a great day, and hopefully you can try some of these at home sometime. See you later.